we see practical number 1, that is download, install and configure the Linux operating system. Yes, but so why we are using a Linux operating system? Most thing is that Linux is a open source operating system, means it can be freely downloaded from the internet. We can install it and configure it. No need to take or purchase a license copy of Linux operating system. It comes under open source foundation. For other hand, Windows operating system, it is a proprietary, stand for you need to always purchase from the Microsoft, that is a license copy we need, and we can't modify or rebuild the Windows operating system. But for Linux operating system, we can rebuild it or modify it and again redistribute it. Means as per our need, we can create the Linux operating system. We can add more services onto the Linux kernel or remove some services from the Linux kernel. Means as per requirement of our organizations or our purpose, we can rebuild the Linux operating system and again redistribute it. So it is a open source. But a Windows operating system is a user friendly as compared to comparatively Linux is not too much user friendly nowadays. Some GUI based Linux operating systems are there, but most of the times the commands are executed through the terminal. We have first 5 practicals on that terminal. So practical number 1, install. This is about Linux operating system. Practical number 1, install and configure Linux operating system. Relevant POs are here mentioned. Practical outcome is that install and configure Linux OS. Steps are given. Download the ISO file. ISO stands for image file. Boot your system with bootable DVDs or USB. Means we can download ISO file and write it into the USB drive or DVD CD and then install. But here we are installing the Linux operating system, that is Ubuntu. That is virtually we are installing. Virtually stand for we are always log in into the Windows and then we can virtually start Linux operating system. And physically stand for when our system is starting or turn on our computer, then they will ask either login into the Linux or Windows. That is about physical. But virtual stand for we are always login into the or login by the Windows operating system, and then we can virtually start the Linux operating system. So this computer having Windows 10 is already installed. So to install virtually Linux, we need one tool, and that tool is VirtualBox. So first you need to download this software, that is VirtualBox. How we can download? Go to the Google, just type VirtualBox and click on this virtualbox.org. So you will get this window. Click here, download VirtualBox 6.1. This is the version. Which version you should download? It depends on your Windows version. For Windows 7, you have to download previous version and your computer architecture, whether it is 32-bit, 64-bit. So according to that, you have to download a VirtualBox. So I have already downloaded it. Therefore, I am not click here. So just type into the Google VirtualBox. Go to virtualbox.org. This window, click here. It gets downloaded. Next thing, you download the Ubuntu operating system. Again, in the Google, type Ubuntu download. Go to the ubuntu.com. Then click Ubuntu 20.04.1 LTS, latest version. Then click here, download. Again, I have already downloaded this Ubuntu operating system and save it to your locations, either D drive, E drive, anywhere. So means Up till now, we have downloaded two things, that is VirtualBox and Ubuntu operating system. Ubuntu is a flavor of Linux operating system. Like Windows 7, Windows 10, Windows 2000, Windows XP, these are the versions of Windows. So Linux having many flavors like Fedora Linux, SUSE Linux, Kali Linux, hmm, Mint OS, and this Ubuntu. So nowadays Ubuntu's are mostly used. So therefore we are using that. Our in manual suggestion is there to install Ubuntu operating system. So in Google, type Ubuntu download, go to ubuntu.com. You have to use this option. Click here, download. It gets downloaded. So I have already downloaded. So therefore, I am not again downloading. Then once the downloading is finished, next thing is that you go to the virtual box. So how once it is downloaded, then we need to install it. So how we can install it? So see here, this is the downloading folder. So to install it, double click on it. Right now we have only downloaded Ubuntu and VirtualBox. Need to install it. So first you have to install the VirtualBox. Such type of window is occur setup wizard. So you just click on next, 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 say default settings allowed, and it automatically install. You just follow the next, okay, or sometimes you have to provide some kind of information so that windows will appear. So once a virtual box is installed, here again already installed, then I am opening a virtual box. Here this icon. So I have already installed here Ubuntu, so therefore such type of logs files are generated. Every time such type of log files are there. Now VirtualBox is downloaded. Now we need downloaded and installed. We need to install Ubuntu operating system. Then go to the machine option. These log files are not appeared initially. Yeah? Machine, then go to the new and type here name of user, or you can give any name that will appear at the time of login, and then use the next, next, next option. Sometimes they ask a keyboard setting, that is keyboard option, time zone, such type of things will be asked. You just provide it and keep the default setting. So then Ubuntu will be installed. So once it is installed, such type of icon will be here. Then again go to the machine option, then go to the setting. This window will open. Then in general setting, you go to the advanced. This is the name Ubuntu. I have given that name is appeared here. Then advanced. In advanced, this is the folder where Ubuntu will install. Then shared clipboard option, that is disabled like this. But you need to make it is bidirectional. Host to guest and guest to host. And again drag and drop, again bidirectional. And then use OK or next option. Then after this general setting, system setting. No need to change any thing in system setting. Again in display setting, don't change anything. In storage setting, this is the most important setting. In storage setting, use this control ID, click on EMT. Click on EMT, then here you will get optical drive. You have to select here If you are downloaded Ubuntu into the CD or DVD, you have to use live CD or DVD. But we have downloaded into our secondary storage or into hard disk. So I have downloaded into the E drive. So therefore go to the IDE secondary master you have to use. Then click on this CD icon. They will ask to choose a disk file. Then choose the disk file where your Ubuntu is saved after downloading. So I have saved here onto E drive. Here you select and open it. Okay. Once this setting is finished, no need to change any setting. That is by default setting. Click on OK. So you will get back into the virtual box. Once it is installed, you need to reboot your system or restart your system. Again, your login into the Windows operating system. Then open the virtual box. Yes, once virtual box is open, go to the start option here. Here also start option. Then you have to select normal start, or here start option is there also. Normal start. So then we are virtually logging into the Linux operating system. Now we are logging into the Linux operating system. That is the virtually, not a physically. See here, such type of windows will appear. So they will ask user password. Name of user is Linux user here. So type the password. So you will get the Linux desktop. It is little bit different GUI as compared to Windows. So this is the Linux desktop. Most of the practicals we are performing onto the terminal. Like start menu, here also this option. It will show all the applications. Click on it. So these all applications it shows. For frequently, it will show those are frequently used. All, then you type here, or infrequently, that will be by default present, a terminal. Yes. And then open the terminals. So this terminal will be open it. And on this terminal, we are performing our practicals. Like suppose a cal command, CAL, it displays the current month calendar with date. So like that, such type of commands are there from the next practical onwards, that is practical number 2 onwards. Now, I'm closing this session. Exit. Okay, I have closed this session, or we can another way, we can close our terminal directly. Suppose the terminal is open. To log out from our terminal, you have to close here. So then I need to shut down a Linux operating system. Then select this option. Then power off or log out option.